Music matters. Mackk, appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Appreciate you for having me. We rocking with Above the Bridge right now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate you helping me learn how to use my shit, man.
Off top. Each one teach one, man. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Everybody gotta share the sauce. It's a whole lot of free game out here from everybody.
No,
to learn
100%.
from, so.
100%. That's like whenever I interview like some kind of photographer or videographer, I always say, I'm like, damn, I always feel like I'm setting my shit up. They probably know way more than everything that I know.
Bruh, I've been on sets and like not known anything.
Yeah.
And, like I just sit in the background and just learn and watch, and asking questions is important too.
Uh-huh.
Like just literally, why would you not want to learn about something? You know what I'm saying? You got all these tools and you may not know everything, but somebody else might know something. So.
No, 100%. You got to kind of put your ego, I feel like, on the shelf for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like for example, when you were like, hey, try lowering that shutter speed. There's like two ways I could take that, right? I could take that as one way, like the way I took it, and I'm just like, oh yeah, for sure. Like obviously, bro, like I've seen your shit. You obviously know more about cameras than I do. So I'm like, I take it like that. But it's like I'm sure I could have also been like, nah, bro, like what? Like fuck that. This is my camera. You know what I mean? Like.
It's really about keeping an open mind.
Yeah.
Like if you approach everything like, oh, I'm just gonna be one track minded, you're never gonna learn anything. You're never gonna try anything new. So you're just gonna be stagnant.
No, exactly. Like you have to be open to learning if you want to learn. You can't teach yourself everything. You know, I think like in the age of the internet, like we really can learn like a lot of skills just from the internet. But at the same time, like sometimes people understand that, but then they close themselves off to the opportunity of having a mentor or somebody to learn from.
Yeah.
When you started taking pictures, was there like, how did you kind of get started and how did you start like learning? Were you like a YouTube kid, or was there somebody who else took pictures around you, or how'd you learn?
I really just had to pretty much teach myself. I didn't have a lot of people around me to really teach me how to use my camera. Like I was just I was put in a position where I got a camera. I acquired a camera and I had to learn how to use it, and it was like really professional environments. Like I literally had to turn into a professional photographer with 10 plus years of knowledge and experience right then and there. So what really challenged me was probably not having those connections in the beginning. The first few months of photography, I tell everybody, I literally was taking pictures of landscape, like going to go take pictures of the bridge, put in hella miles on my car to just go take pictures of buildings and random people and shit. And then I just learned to network, to really put myself out there, put myself in those environments, meet these models, these other photographers, and then pick up the game. You know
When you say like you were in a position where you had a camera, but you had to teach yourself how to use it, was photography something you kind of like stumbled into, or did you like want to learn? Like how'd that come about?
Pretty much. I pretty much stumbled into photography. I wouldn't say by accident. I think everything happens for a reason. So yeah, I stumbled into it and I picked it up and I haven't looked back. It's grew onto me. This is one of the passions that I figured out that this is something I want to do for the rest of my life. So.
Yeah. How did you stumble into it? Was there somebody who kind of threw it on you, or did you like how'd you get that first camera and actually get started?
It's a long story. Might have to revisit that question.
It's too long. Yeah, no, I got you. Yeah, man. Though that's like, whenever I'm around somebody who really knows how to use their camera, because I don't know, I know how to start my camera. I know how to like do the basic things, but it's like it's incredible to me how much more you can get out of your camera when you actually know lighting and you actually understand the entire settings of your camera. Because there's like it's almost less about the camera you have and more about the settings and the lighting, I feel like, right?
I agree to a certain extent. I tell everybody there's no rules to this at all.
Yeah.
Like, there's no right or wrong way to do this. Like it's about having fun and exporting that image that you have in your head, that vision that you have in your head, to export that, like to create that through the lens. You know what I'm saying? Just be able to shoot that. And you'll figure out over time, what do you need to do? What adjustments you need to make in order to get that certain image? Like, you know what you like. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, when we were just setting up this camera, I noticed it was a little dark, and I knew a quick solution on how to fix that. And that's developed, like, over time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've learned through trial and error. I've been on shoots where I didn't have certain lighting equipment. I didn't have, like, a certain lens or something. There was a look that I was trying to go for. So you just really pick up and learn from that. And then you can always educate yourself, learn from other people, teach yourself through YouTube, whatever.
Yeah, I guess a lot of it really is like, because when you think about it, right? Like, what is your goal with the camera? Your goal with the camera is to think of the image that you want. Like, so if I'm looking at you right now, right, and there's like a way that I'm envisioning you in my head, a way my eyes are seeing you, it's like trying to get the camera to capture that as accurately as possible, right? Yeah. And that's done through like a series of different things. It's done through settings and lighting and vision and angles and whatever. But it's like it's weird to me because I feel like most people think of taking pictures as something that, like, you know, you just point the camera at it, you put it in auto, and it shoots. No, but it's like that might give you a solid base level image, but it's not going to give you the like artistic vision that you want.
Well, it depends on what you're trying to achieve. You mentioned putting the camera in auto mode. You're not going to really achieve too much by doing that because you're taking the most easiest route to take the picture. Like, if you're shooting on a $3,000 camera in auto mode, what is the point of having that camera?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not really unlocking the true potential. And then it really just goes to show that a lot of people don't put in the effort. Because I was doing that. I'm pretty sure every creative photographer, videographer had that moment where they were in auto for so long, and then once you transition and learn like making different adjustments with settings, you can achieve a certain look. You know what I'm saying? I think you mentioned something else I wanted to touch base on. What else were you talking about?
I was talking about like translating like the image you see into the camera.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The first thing you have to do for real is really take the pictures in your eye. Use your eyes. Your eyes is a camera. Really, that's what I said. You take the picture. I take the picture in my head before I take it on the camera. Like, I already know what exactly I want to shoot, and I like I said earlier, I just depict it through the camera.
Yeah,
that's the tool that I use. Other than that, you really just have to perceive the world as art. Like, everybody has different intentions. My intention when I use my camera isn't to just take pictures and mess around and stuff like that. I really make artwork. I make creations that will last a lifetime, and people will be able to like see my work and feel the expression that is given. They'll be able to get the same feeling as if you're reading a good ass book, and you can mentally like go in that book. Like, I want people to like look at my creations, my artwork, and be like able to go into that piece of artwork and just feel it. You know what I'm saying?
That's super interesting that you like bring that up, because when I think about like, okay, like what it like the like our motto on Above the Bridge, like the biggest thing we say all the time is make music matter, and the vision behind that, like what I want that to mean is like, I think the biggest goal is to like get people to understand how much music can make them feel, thus therefore make music matter. For sure. So it's almost like the same idea, right? It's getting people to try to understand and attempt to really like explore music, because I know how much I got out of music. Like, it changed my life. It is my life. It's like I want to give that to other people. You know what I mean? Like, I want to have people understand that music can be that thing for them.
Of course.
And I feel like that's probably what you want to do with your camera, or similar type things. Is that what you're describing?
I just want to be able to be free. I want to be able to wake up every day and make artwork that impacts, inspires, and influences people worldwide every single day. That's it.
I guess when you think about podcasting or photography or anything, it's all just a lens to tell a story through.
Of course.
All a lens to translate an image, to translate an emotion through. That's all art is, I guess, when you think about it. And in that regard, anything can be art, you know?
Anything can be art. That is very true. You can it's really just a form of expression.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I express myself artistically through fashion, through photography, digital designs, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Every aspect of my life is artwork.
No, 100%. Most the time when, like, obviously this show's called Music Matters, I pretty much only have musicians on here. But the reason I want to have you on, pretty much specifically, is like, if I was going to have a photographer on, it was because I wanted to talk about the relation to the music industry, the relation to musicians in general. And you have obviously a huge relation to that. I was looking through your account, like a lot of the stuff, you shoot a lot of musicians, and then I noticed you've done some like album artwork and stuff. So what would you say, like, when you got interested in music, was that ever a passion that preceded photography? Was that something you wanted to do ever? Or was the first kind of artistic endeavor you took photography?
I would say, like, growing up and just being heavily influenced by the entertainment industry. Like, we all seen that stuff from, like, MTV, music videos was a heavy influence on the youth and whatnot. In a positive way, of course. As far as the music goes, I don't really have like a explanation for that. Like, all of this stuff really just merges. Like, I'm very versatile. Like, I don't just shoot music entertainers and rappers and influencers. Like I take pictures of a lot of other people. I like to cast and direct stuff as well. So
is there certain things in people that compel you to take a picture of them? Like, is there ever like a look or an aesthetic that you're more drawn and more interested in photographing?
I really like nostalgic looks. I like high fashion looks. These are just things that I like always dreamt of doing as a kid and like a teen and stuff like that. And that's the type of aesthetics that I'm like attracted to. And the vibe is always changing. Like I'm never just consistently shooting rappers or consistently shooting high fashion models. Like I like working with a lot of people.
I think about this all the time, like why we're drawn to the things that we're drawn to, even if we don't understand why. When I think about like certain aesthetics and things that I'm drawn to, it's really, really fascinating to me. Like I'm always drawn to like 90s stuff. I'm drawn to like grungier looks. And it's weird to think about like why those are aesthetics that we're specifically drawn to as people, you know?
It's because it's familiar. It's because that's what you know.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, history repeats itself. Like everything that's trendy now or is coming back, it just comes back around. Like it's not a new thing. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever it is.
Look at the concept of like something that's vintage, you know?
Yeah, I love vintage stuff. Shout out Chameleon Vintage, as a matter of fact.
What's that?
Chameleon Vintage. That's the homie Kenny. He's holding it down. He has a storefront in Japantown, as a matter of fact. You guys go shop there. Plenty of saucy vintage pieces. He has a lot of Japanese pieces. He's the plug for sure. So
yeah, I mean, it seems like just as I was looking through your Instagram and stuff. I mean, and it's funny you mentioned that. It seems like you're also very often influenced by fashion and very into fashion. I was looking at your brand and everything. Did that precede the photography, or was it did it come in tandem, or when did you start your brand and everything?
Rest in peace, Virgil.
Rest in peace, Virgil.
Oh God. Fashion has always been a part of me. Fashion is art. You know what I'm saying? Art is me. So, I want to say when I was a little kid, I was always into fashion. The stuff that I was wearing, I was getting made fun of back then, and it's like people wear that stuff now. You know what I'm saying?
What kind of stuff? Just like,
for instance, when it was like the 5XL tees and baggy jean era, I was wearing like more fitted clothes, like how dudes wear like Amiri jeans and more like fitted clothing now. I was wearing that back then. And it's like just all of the fashion trends. I don't know. I liked, my motto in life is to be unlike others. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm always doing the opposite of what other people are doing. I strive to do the opposite.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to strive for, especially when you're dissatisfied with what
when
many
you're not
people are doing.
Plugged into the matrix, when you literally run on your own program. Like, I'm telling you.
I think the lens I think about that through is like just through being an artistic in general. It's like I don't necessarily try to stray from the mainstream. I try to like look at the things that like most or the majority of people pursue, and then the things that make them miserable as a byproduct, and then just avoid those things as much as I can.
Of course, that's literally living through other people's experiences. Like you just see the type of reactions people get by doing certain things, and you decide whether or not you want to do that. And there's different paths you can take in life. Like I could have easily just kept going to school or whatever, but there's certain risk you take to get certain rewards.
Yeah.
And I feel like the risk that I'm taking, I enjoy the rewards. Like I strive to just be able to create. That's it.
Yeah, 100%. Especially when like I don't know, when I think about like taking those risks, it's almost like as an artist, I feel like there has to be a certain point where you make a jump, you know, and that jump's gonna be scary. I feel like personally, I just took kind of a jump. Seems like you're in the same boat. You're 20 years old, you said, right?
I just turned 20. Yeah.
Okay, so you're no longer in school. You're pursuing art full time.
I definitely do want to go to school one day and get a degree in something. Just to, I don't know. I've always wanted to go to college, so I didn't know what I would be doing right now. You know what I'm saying? Last year, like I'm constantly involving. I feel like as human beings that strive to do certain things, you're constantly involving, and you just start doing different things all the time. You don't know what to really, really look forward to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
School isn't something that I really look forward to right now, obviously. But
yeah. And so art wasn't the original plan? What were you going to school for?
I was going to school to figure out what I wanted to do in life. Like I feel like that's what a lot of people going from high school to college, like they they pretty much go to college to figure out what do they want to do in life, what do they want to be. So, and then I figured that out in high school. Like, I figured out, like, you got to make money out here. There's certain things you want to do, certain places you want to be. You have to work hard for it and just go acquire it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And at the end of the day, I feel like there's a lot of artists, at least, artistic people who want to work in the arts. Shout out Metro. A lot of people.
That's Muni.
Oh, is that Muni? I always forget the difference. Like, they're damn near the same thing, right?
No.
What's the difference?
Muni and BART is different compared to, like, Sam Trans and shit. Like, the city transportation is ghetto as hell. People do drugs and then people get killed. People
it's like BART.
Get robbed, yes.
BART is, like, in a weird way, BART. I don't understand this, but I think it's because I grew up riding BART, like, every weekend. BART, to me, like, is never, despite how bad it gets, it never seems unsettling. Like, the idea of BART. I don't know. It's just not... It just doesn't feel scary to me, I think, because I've just grown up around it.
I definitely used to bust a lot of missions on the BART train. So
yeah.
Anybody from the Bay Area rode BART is immune to coronavirus.
That's facts. Did you grow up in the city?
Born and raised.
What part?
No specific part. Just all over the place, for real.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised in the city.
Okay. Are you planning on, like, staying here long term, or do you have any intentions of moving out?
You never know, for real. Like, I mean, I want to have property out here. I want to be able to come back to San Francisco. I wouldn't see myself being here for the rest of my life. It's cool, but I don't like being stagnant either. Like, I want to be able to go all around the world and see different places.
That's one of the cooler things, I think, that, I mean, not that there's any positives that came from Corona, but I do feel like one of the positive things that might have come from COVID is the idea that, like, the creative professional can work from anywhere. I think it's so cool that you like you could be a graphic designer and you could literally be in, like, Hawaii with your laptop and do the same work that you could from home. You know what I mean?
If you are not on the internet, making money, bro, you're asleep. There's so much money. There's so many bags out here that you could be getting that it's just unbelievable. There's kids out here making thousands of dollars. Shout out my boy, Sneaker Reseller X. He's doing astronomical numbers on the sneaker reseller game. He's only like 16 years old. On God.
That's insane. Like, and that's only like one of like
internet money.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. Like, you think about, like, and it's not even limited to, you know, the weird thing is it's not even limited to selling shit. Like, it's
like literally
ad revenue, anything.
You could do anything out here, bro. Anything is possible. Like, there's no reason why anybody should be broke out here.
There's like such a disconnect, I feel like, between like our generation and the older generation regarding how you make money online.
I experience that all the time. People that's older than me tell me all the time, like, oh, you need to go to work. You need to get benefits from these jobs. I'm like, dude, it's just like, to them, when you're stuck on a program and you're so used to like seeing certain things, that's all you're gonna know. Yeah. It's called a slave mindset. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. To some people, it sounds very crazy. Like, oh, you think you're better than somebody? It's like, no. Like, I just don't want to work till I'm like 6 years old, then retire. Like, the average life expectancy in America for a black male is like 65 years old.
Is that true?
Yes.
65? Wow. That's incredible. I did not know it was that low.
Yes.
That's terrible. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, but that's like, I don't know. That's so fucked to me that somebody would think that, like, somebody thinks they're better than somebody because they don't want to be a slave to a job, a slave to a system.
People, I don't know. You get one life, bro.
Yeah.
And if you don't live every single day to its full potential, then you're going to pass away one day and just be like, damn, I wasted a whole lot of time. Because a lot of people, I'm pretty sure a lot of older people that come up to you, they always be like, damn, I wish I could be your age again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, literally. That's funny that you bring that up, because that's one thing, like, I think, like, recently I made kind of a jump. I kind of, like, took the jump into doing this full time. I know we were talking about that.
Yeah.
We're kind of in a similar boat in that regard, but it was like, I took that jump, and one thing that I've been thinking, I've been thinking about a lot lately is conceptualizing the concept of death. And I ripped this from a Steve Jobs speech when he was talking about, like, how valuable and how important it is to conceptualize death through the lens of think of every day as if it was your last, but like almost thinking about it as if it's a question, right? So you wake up every single day. So I've been trying to wake up every single day and ask myself, if I died tonight, would I be happy that what I did today
that's crazy.
was my last day on earth?
That's crazy that you say that. I ask myself that all the time, and I tell people that, and people be thinking I'm crazy. I'm like, bro,
dude.
If I die right now, I'll be like, damn, bro, like I really had so much fun in life. I did so many different things. I took so many different risks. I did what I wanted in life in general. Like, don't ever let anybody tell you how to live your life. You live your life through the experiences and the ways that you want to. You accept what you want to accept as far as advice and how to go about certain things, but just live your life, bro.
But it's so hard to break out of that. Like, there's such like a strong force that's telling you not to do that. There's such a strong force telling you that money should rule your life. There's such a strong force telling you that you shouldn't have a choice. You know what I mean? So it's just so incredibly hard to like get it through your head that you can do what you want. Like at a certain point, you literally can stop caring what everybody says and just do what you want.
Of course. Hold on, my bad.
You good?
The puppies right here.
No way. Shout out the pup. What's the puppy's name? We're back. We had some problems.
Oh shit, these going back on.
Yeah.
Yes, Sirski, we back in this thing, man. We gonna act like nothing just happened.
Nah, nothing happened. We had to deal with some issues, but
man, just a couple of technical difficulties.
It happens. It happens. See, the technical difficulties aren't just with the camera. It can be all kinds of stuff.
It could be all kinds of stuff.
That's what comes with like going around and shooting people, bro. These interviews, like when we go, because we're all kinds of different places. Man. Shout out Mir. We just shot an interview with
Mir
Mir.
Money in this thing, man.
Mir Money. Yeah, we just shot an interview with Mir on top of a car on some random cul-de-sac. And like,
oh yeah, go crazy.
Yeah. I imagine you can relate to that, to be honest, because you're probably shooting all kinds of different places.
Bro, I've shot in the most craziest places. I want to say probably the most craziest place that I've ever shot in was an abandoned chemical factory.
Whoa.
Dead ass.
What were you shooting there?
I shot there with me and like 5 of the homies, and shout out my homegirl Reedman. She was rocking with us. Oh God.
Yeah, bro.
I cannot give up the low, but it's in the Bay Area. I can tell you that. Abandoned chemical factory. Go try your luck.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I've never shot an interview somewhere like that, but we want to. Like, we want to start shooting.
I love the adrenaline. The adrenaline rush of like trespassing, just like finding different lows, bro. Like I just upped a new Addy yesterday. Like I found a rooftop, just fucking around, just walking around in the city. And
that's like, dude, that's a whole different kind of photography in itself. Yeah. Like going, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the fun of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I was just talking to Mateo about this. I feel like eventually, obviously, we're probably gonna settle down, get a studio, start shooting interviews there. But the thing is, like, I feel like I almost might miss that adrenaline rush, right? Of like finding different places to shoot or going to a place like this and then having problems with it. Because honestly, the problems are that's what makes it memorable. You know what I mean? Like what just happened? Like it sucked in the moment, but then
it's memories, bro.
Yeah.
Like, my bad. I can relate to that. Like, just those moments that like in the moment it might have sucked or it was like crazy as hell, and then like you ponder on it after, or you have those captures to be able to look back like, damn, bro, like we really just did this. Like when I like I told you, like I went into an abandoned chemical factory and I have the proof to show it. I'm looking at those pictures like, god damn, like this room says do not enter. This is like a hazardous fucking area, but like we in that bitch anyway.
They mean something more. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it means a little more because there's more of a story behind the photo.
Yeah. It's so much behind it. Like that's why I try to tell people like it's expression, bro. Like I want people to be able to visualize what I'm visualizing, feeling what I'm feeling. So
how do you deal with lighting something like that, man? Like in terms of like getting the shot to look what you want it to look like when you're in a place like that, like an abandoned warehouse or some crazy place like that. Like do you have portable lighting or is it more in like the settings?
Yes, the style that I try to achieve is like a film look. I'll keep it a stack. I do not shoot on film. Everybody thinks I do. I don't. I haven't done it. I don't think I've ever really developed my film, whatever. But needless to say, I'll put it. I don't think I'm really putting anybody on, but I literally use like a off-camera flash.
Okay.
Or I guess you could say on camera. It's just attached to the camera. It's a flash.
What does that do? Like it just gives it more that gloss, like that film look?
I mean, you need lighting to take a picture.
Of course.
Like if you have motherfuckers be trying to crank their ISO up all the way and fuck up the whole picture, but I don't know. The flash also gives it like a nostalgic like 90s film look. It helps me, like that is like step 1 out of probably like 3 of how to capture what I'm going for. Like, this whole room could be dark as hell, but I'll have my flash, turn it all the way like up to, you know what I'm saying, high ass, flash that in, and light up this whole room. So, and
I mean, I can relate to that because to keep it a buck with you, like what you were saying, man. Like, one thing we fucked up on in the early days is like we'd have low light, and then when we'd have low light, instead of like reorienting our lights to make it look better, we'd compensate it with ISO, and that fucks your shit up.
That does, and it's like that moment when you like turn a light on and then you see what the subject looks like with like a light setup. It's like a caveman discovering fire. You're like, bro, like
exactly,
this is how they do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not nothing too crazy, bro. Just literally play with your camera. I advise and encourage everybody. Play with your camera, learn your camera, have fun with your camera.
You do some video work too, right?
Yes, I do.
Have you shot any videos? Like any music video type things?
I've shot plenty of music videos. I shot plenty of music videos. Yeah,
so that's pretty cool too, because it like, see, I guess that's what I mean when I say like, the reason I want to interview you is because like you're very clearly a photographer, but you're like aligned with the music industry in a lot of ways. I feel like you do a lot of stuff with musicians. Not to say you're not versatile, but it seems like you're like a part of that world, which is cool. When you say like you're inclined to create all kinds of art and you're inspired by all kinds of art, do you grow up on a lot of specific music? What kind of music specifically inspires you?
I grew up on hip hop, R&B. That's pretty much it. I started, I guess, listening to pop. Oh yeah, pop music too. I get. Do you want me to like mention the type of?
Sure.
I guess in the beginning, I was probably growing up on like Chris Brown, Lil Wayne, stuff like that. And then like nowadays, like I listen to hella like more emo, cyber pop, hip hop music like Cardi, Uzi, that type of wave of music. You know what I'm saying? It's a different form of hip hop that I don't think was really too popular back in the day, like early 2000s.
100%.
And the music has changed, like the sound, everything has changed. Like a lot of people are making their own music nowadays.
I like thinking about the idea of like those genres specifically, like the ones you listed, like more of the cyber pop stuff and more of like the, even you look at like hyper pop type stuff. Like it's cool to me that those are musical subgenres that developed during our lifetime. That's pretty cool because you think about like, let's say something like hyperpop, for example. You have a guy like Glaive or like Eric DOA.
Sofago.
Or Sofago. It's like those are genres that we saw the beginning of, and we probably will live long enough to see like where they go. And that's exciting to me. Like the progression of art has always been very exciting to me.
Yes. We're living during a time of Renaissance. People are becoming artists. People are picking up their tools, learning how to make art, learning how to use their skill set to not only make money, but just like, you know what I'm saying, have these different, I can't even describe it, but we're living in a renaissance. The time is going to keep going, and certain people are going to pick up on it, and certain people are not going to pick up on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and just go back to what you said earlier, it's all a cycle. Like, look what you were talking about with the film look, man. It's like, that was something, in a lot of ways, it relates to music, right? Because you look at like, okay, people shoot film now because they're trying to recreate an older aesthetic. It's the exact same reason why people produce lo-fi now. People produce lo-fi because now it's an aesthetic choice. It used to be out of necessity. But it gives it that older flair. Like, it reminds you of a different renaissance, a different time period.
What was the key word earlier? I can't pronounce it that good. Just being familiar. It's something that's familiar. You know what I'm saying?
Reminiscent?
No, it's literally familiar. I don't know how to pronounce familiarity or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I can never pronounce that word, so I'm not trying to embarrass myself. I know exactly what you mean. Whatever. But anyways, it's something that's familiar to us. It's nostalgic, basically. So like when we hear those references, even in today's hip hop, samples, things like that, like it triggers like that dopamine in our head, like, oh, this is something that I remember when I was a kid. So like this is why I like it. Like and then people learn to incorporate all these nostalgic things at one time. Like I feel like I can shoot in present day, but make it look like it was shot like 10 years ago. But it's kind of contradicting because it's like it's present day, but like it feels as if it was like a long time ago. But that's that like nostalgic feeling, and people. That's pretty much why I shoot like fake film looks, because people like it. I like it. You know what I'm saying? It's a certain vibe that people get from my shots. So.
I totally feel that with samples. I think you're totally right, and I think the reason, like to go back to even what you said, it's about that familiarity. About I can't say anything. Familiarity of a sample. You know, like
don't roast us.
If you're on SoundCloud and you're just listening to some random rapper that you found, it's exciting when they sample a song that you've heard before. It's hella exciting. You're like, oh shit, I've heard that.
Or use certain notes, certain instruments, certain ad libs, certain bars.
Mm-hmm. Where do you think like it? So you know, if like now it's popular to kind of recreate that old film look. What do you think in photography is going to be like the next trend in the next like 10 to 15 years? Is there something you see like getting really big again, like coming back? Because I wouldn't know, because I'm not in that world.
That's a tough question. Like, where do I see photography in 10 years? Like, what would be like the more trending way of shooting?
It's hard to tell, right?
It's kind of hard to tell because a lot of people have, I don't know. It's really weird, bro. It's like saying that about music.
Yeah.
Saying that about anything. I couldn't give you that answer. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, for music, I feel like it's just a more DIY direction. And I know you were talking about DIY earlier.
The industry that I'm in, like it's more like influenced by other people. Whereas like music and stuff is almost a little bit more free. I feel like all art forms is like very free creations, but like in music, like you can literally people notice that you can literally do anything and fucking get all types of reactions. You can blow up, you can get clout from that shit. You know what I'm saying? That could be something you could do for the rest of your life. Whereas photography and the like shooting, videography, there's a lot of intention in art. You know what I'm saying? Like for it to be not only respected, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying, oh, you need everybody's respect, but like it just wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't look nice if there wasn't enough intention put into that piece.
When you said, talking about earlier when you were talking about being on sets with less experience, were you ever in situations where you felt like you were getting disrespected or weren't getting the respect you deserved? And then when that happened, or if that did happen, how did you kind of like just deal with that or like take that or like learn to rise above that? Because that's something that I can relate to. I feel like I've been in rooms where like people haven't respected what I've done before, and it's discouraging, but I'd be interested to feel like, or to know if you've ever felt like that on a set.
I've definitely felt like that. I'm pretty sure everybody's felt like that before. And if you haven't felt like that, you will feel like that.
Yeah.
Only way to not combat it, but the only way to approach it is to literally, when you get your fucking spotlight, just fucking shine. Or you get that opportunity, you get that breach to be able to perform, put in some fucking work and go crazy. Like, I feel like the best thing to do is to blow people's mind.
I agree.
Do some shit that's like, like some shit that people have not, or something that somebody would have not thought to have done. I'm sorry. Like,
no, you're good.
I can't talk right now.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, dude, and that's real, man.
Shock value. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good.
Shock value. That's what I was getting
100%, man. And I feel like that, like, cause and it's tough, right? There are people in all creative industries that are going to approach you with some type of ego, some type of sense of entitlement. But at the end of the day, one thing I've noticed when I've been in those situations, you just have to do you. And I think of that in the exact same way. I just want to get to the point where I'm shocking people, and it's undeniable. Like, make your work undeniable. You know what I mean?
You can't want it from people. You can't be like, oh, I'm making this to, because then that means you're doing it for clout, right?
Yeah.
If you're just doing like, that's like basically like some 6ix9ine shit. Like, you literally going to go do something because you're like, oh, hella people are gonna fuck with this, or hella people are gonna be like hella happy or hella angry about this. Like, bro, go out there, make something for yourself, and it just so happens to touch other people. You know what I'm saying? So, and
it's hard to, I don't know though. I feel like it's equally as hard.
It's a balance. Like, I'm not saying don't create something and not consider like, damn, what other people think. Yeah. Your fucking name is behind that too. So it's like partially taking into consideration what other people would like, and then what you would like, merge it together, create something crazy.
I think the bottom line is create things that you're proud of. Create things that make you happy.
Literally.
You know what I mean? When I go back and I watch these interviews, what excites me about them is that I feel like I'm telling somebody's story. I'm like giving people, or not telling somebody's story, but giving people a platform to tell theirs.
Yes.
And that's what excites me about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about like how many followers or streams or whatever the person on the interview has. It's about the relatability of their story, and that's what's exciting to me about it.
Yes, everybody has a story, and it's important to hear and literally have those interactions with people, because you never know what you could take away from a conversation in a simple interaction with another human being.
Conversation is incredibly undervalued. I talk about that all the time, and honestly, I'm somebody who I feel like previously I would have conversations and I wouldn't value them to the degree that I should. I wouldn't listen super intently and then like try to take something from that conversation if it was somebody who I thought I could take something from. And that's something I feel like interviewing people has helped me a lot with. Like I've really learned to like treat every conversation with a value. Treat every conversation with the mindset that I can learn something from this. I can take something from this.
That's crazy that you say that. I mean, it ties back into what we were talking about earlier about being open-minded. Like if you like, for a long time, I felt like I was not listening to what people were telling me, or like even when I'm talking to people, because time is important to me. If we're just talking and I'm not actually listening and seeing what I can gain from the conversation, then it really wouldn't make sense. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's very important to hear people out sometimes. You might really learn something, like even really just challenge yourself. Like if somebody's like, oh, you're doing too much of this or something like that, like they might be right. You know what I'm saying? Analyze it yourself and just see how it could benefit you.
That's something that people undervalue as well. Like constructive criticism, man.
Oh my God, I struggled with that for so long.
Really?
Trust me, like that shit will eat you alive. Your ego will eat you alive. Especially if you want to have people support you. You cannot always be right, and you know what I'm saying? You can't expect everybody to fuck with everything that you're doing. Like there's always going to be some no's out there. Disregard the haters, but like literally take people's feedback. You know what I'm saying? It'll help you in the long run.
Yeah, and that is all ego, man. It's all the like dismantling of your ego, allowing people into your craft. And I feel like when I'm in creative spaces, one thing that's helped me a lot is to know what I'm there for.
Yes.
Like, I feel like I've felt the most uncomfortable when I've been somewhere and I'm like, why am I here? But it's made me reflect. You know, it's made me like learn to really only interject myself into creative spaces that I think I have a place in. I think I have a place in all of them, but it's more so being there with an intent to do something. Don't just follow people. Be somewhere to be there for a reason. Be there to do something.
Yes, intention. If you don't have a plan, you're literally misguided. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't wake up and you don't like write your thoughts down, if you don't write down an agenda, if you don't follow habits and whatnot, routines, you'll literally fall off, like mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like as human beings, because you cannot try to function and not have a plan. You know what I'm saying? Or if you want to achieve certain things, certain people may not have a plan, but if you want to achieve certain things in life, you have to create a plan for it. You know what I'm saying? Stick to it.
I 100% agree. I noticed you like before the interview, we were just chopping it up and you were here like writing some stuff on a notebook. Are you somebody who like does things like write down your dreams or write down like your day-to-day routine? Like what do you take from kind of writing things down? Because I do the same thing.
It's a process of manifestation. Yeah. The first step is to write it down. If you don't, it's literally called like spelling. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to get too deep into that conversation, but literally literally writing it down is the first step to manifesting something. If you don't write it down, it will not happen. Speaking it, then the next thing is to speak it into existence. Tell yourself that you will acquire that. You will do that. You will be in this certain place at this certain time. You know what I'm saying? And don't rush the process. Literally just, that's why I said, create a plan. Figure out, okay, you want to get $1 million? What does it take to get $1 million? You have to have a minimum of 6 streams of income. Yeah. How are you going to have 6 streams of income? Okay, I'm going to sell fucking candy at school. I'm going to become a security guard. I'm going to pick up a skill, so I'm going to learn how to shoot. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So plan.
Yeah, I completely agree.
And I'm not saying, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good. Go ahead.
I'm not the best. Like, I don't want people to look at this and think like I'm always on top of my shit. Like, I feel like I'm super disorganized and have a lot of space and opportunity to grow. So just take whatever you want.
I like how you say opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
Because it really is an opportunity. It's not something you have to do, but it's something you should be excited to do. You know what I mean? Growth is a really, really valuable thing, and I feel like people dread growth. They dread change.
They do.
But you want to elevate. You want to be the best version of yourself tomorrow.
Of course. People like are scared of change because they don't know what that next step is like. Literally, like it's like taking a risk. Like you don't know what the reward is going to be all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, if I'm dropping out of school right now, I don't know if I'm gonna be like rich next year or I'm gonna be stable in life, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
regarding writing things down, one thing I tell people a lot is like, as a rationale for writing things down, I truly think that if you want other people to believe in a vision, believe in a dream, believe in something you're building, you have to wholeheartedly believe in it first.
yes, you are your biggest supporter and you are your biggest obstacle. I say that all the time.
Like,
I'm telling you.
The obstacle thing is funny because I think
You
about
you are like the only thing that's blocking you from doing anything. I swear.
I completely agree. And one thing I think about that a lot with is like, when I think about all the problems in my life, right, or all the things that I would perceive as problems, the cause of all of them in some way or some fashion is a lack of self-control. Every single one.
Discipline.
Discipline, exactly. I feel like you individually cause almost every single one of your problems.
I'm not where I want to be at because of me.
Yeah.
And I know that already. But like that. I'm not even ready to get to that point in life because I still haven't figured out how to be disciplined. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's like, oh, I want to blow up. I want to be this big famous artist and get all these streams and go on tour. Are you even ready for that, bro? Are you business minded right now? Are you working on being business minded? If not, then you know what I'm saying? Either work on it or don't.
Be thankful you're not there yet. I wholeheartedly agree with that, and that's why I think it's like I've had people who, because this, okay, so Above the Bridge started 4 years. I think I mentioned this when we were talking earlier, but like it started 4 years ago as literally an Instagram account. That's all it was. Now it exists in the current form that it is. It's something entirely different, but it's like it never would have got to this point if I just gave up on it when it was an Instagram account. But I think I'm so ready for the next 5 years, and if the next 5 years don't bring success, that's fine, because I know the things that I can control will be 10 times better.
Not only is it about not giving up, but it's about the fact that you knew in your head that you can be at a certain level. Like there's different levels. That's why they say there's levels to this shit, because literally you at a certain level when you first started, right? You're on a certain level right now.
Yeah.
At some point you had it realized and it dwelled on you like, damn, like I can keep further and advancing myself in this, right?
Yeah.
It's called belief, bro. So, and you realize you can't look back either. It's already, this is your life.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's also the moments, people undervalue the moments in between the wins. You know, like you were talking about the journey. Like, I know it's corny or whatever, but like really the journey really is the best part, man. It's like
come up.
Yeah, it's like every single moment you have to take value for. That's like what I was talking about earlier when I was saying, like, you know, like it'll be easy and more convenient when we have a studio to interview musicians in, but it's like I'll miss those moments where the fucking the dog messes something up, or like or like we break a tripod, or like some shit like that, man. Because it's like those are the moments that build character, that teach you how to solve problems. You really have to be so adaptable if you want to be a creative.
Of course, bro. You have to be like water, bro. You have to be able to just adapt to any environment, any person. You know what I'm saying? Master your emotions. That's the most important thing.
What you do in your field is like, I feel like the master adapters come from photography and videography, because there are certain like intangible conditions that you often just can't change.
It is. You literally learn, like, I feel like I have been practicing optimism so hard, like, every single day of my life, because whether I'm being on a set or working with a client, trying to get a certain look down or whatever, like, you just have to be optimistic. Like, you're just going to be in so many different environments, around so many different people and personalities, that you just have to learn how to be around all of these people and learn how to approach it. You know what I'm saying? Don't try to be a negative Nancy in life.
I'd be interested to ask you, I know you do some work for clients and stuff, obviously, and I'm sure a lot of it you're not even public about. I'm sure that's the truth. But I also, like, I'd want to ask you, because you do, obviously, that, and then you also do things like passion projects, you know, like photos you want to go and take. Is it ever hard to balance those two opportunities?
As of right now, I would say it's more easier to decide whether or not which I want to do, rather than when I first started. Because when I first started, I was just getting played, and I feel like you pretty much have to go through that. Like, you have to go through that rough path. You know what I'm saying? That's also like not having a plan and just being hella indecisive. Like, okay, do I want to get paid or do I want to just keep having fun?
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, it's not all about the money, but it's like, you cannot also do, you can't, or I'll put it like this. You don't have to get financially compensated for everything you do. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to financially benefit from every transaction, every shoot, whatever, but find a way to benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? Find a way to leverage more money in the future or network with that person. You never know. You know what I'm saying?
And those benefits aren't always monetary. Like I forget who I was talking to about this, but there was some interview recently where I was talking about how you have to be prepared to work. Don't work for free, but work for something that's not money. And that might be an opportunity, that might be a connection, that might be just your own love, your own creativity, your own passion. You need, like, there should be a purpose for what you're doing, but that purpose does not always have to be money.
It doesn't. You just have to analyze it yourself, because like there might be a situation where like, damn, like I do need some money and like I really don't want to do this, but I am gonna have to charge. Like, that's why I said that business mindset and just like really knowing what are you getting out of this. Like, you can charge somebody and get nothing out of this shoot. You know what I'm saying? And that means you just were money hungry that day, or you just wanted to be on your business shit. You're making money, whereas like you could do something for free for somebody, right? You don't charge, and they had a good ass time. You guys rocked out, and she referred you to another person. They booked you. Another person books you. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to really figure out. You have to forward think the interaction that you have with whoever you're working with. And I think another thing to keep in mind is don't just work with everybody.
Yeah.
Limit yourself. Limit your access, right? Because if you just are just out there throwing yourself to everybody, you're going to get taken advantage of. Yeah. And it's not going to be fun.
That's game. I've really been trying to learn that more.
I'm telling you, bro, like, I know people want to be hungry. They're like, oh, they have fat FOMO. Like, oh, I need to be everywhere. I need to tap in with everybody. Like, bro, not everybody's good people. Like, and you have to go through that bad interaction to understand how to approach people in the future.
I can totally relate to that. And that is a lot of the reason why I've been thinking of like really starting to limit the conversations I have with people, because I've been learning that like there's value in these things. You know what I mean? There is. And it's a hard thing to do, because on one end, like from what I'm doing, or even in a lot of ways, I'm sure what you're doing, I want to be the person who gives everybody a platform to speak on their thing, on their story. But like you said, man, some people will use that and then take advantage of it. Some people will be uncooperative, or they'll be difficult to deal with, or they'll make it about something else, or they'll make it about drama or whatever. Yeah. It's like the platform can be taken advantage of, and despite my intentions or your intentions, some people might take advantage of it, and that's something you have to accept. And I think there's a lot of truth to what you just said. I've really been trying to work on like limiting who I work with. It's hard, but I've been trying to work on it.
Limit your access, bro. Limit your access, because you don't want everybody just trying to work with you. Yeah. I mean, you definitely do want everybody trying to work with you, but you don't want to just like do anything with anybody, because there are fucking clowns out here that will waste your time or have secret agendas. Yeah. Excuse me, secret agendas to literally try to get close to you, learn your ways, steal shit from you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many different things, but also don't have a negative mindset all the time. Just be open-minded.
Yeah. 100%.
Just be aware. That's it.
You're kind of going back to speaking on the monetary value of everything. What you do and the work that you're in. One of the things that's been interesting to me, or something I'd be interested to hear about, is there's definitely a certain financial barrier to what you do in photography or videography to a degree. How did you start to like build up the like revenue to then get better gear, and what advice would you give to like up and coming photographers or videographers that are struggling like shooting with what they have?
First of all, you shouldn't really struggle. You should really embrace the fact that you're able to have these tools and these resources, because there was a certain point in time where I didn't have as much stuff as I do now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So literally use what you have, figure out how to go crazy with that. get a bag, flip it, multiply that process, and just keep going. You know what I'm saying? With a great plan, you can literally succeed and be prosperous. I'm telling you, like, you can start off doing shoots from $5 to charging people thousands of dollars, but that comes over time. You have to gain respect for that. You have to gain reputation for and consistency, being able to do this. But also, you have to be able to put in some work yourself. You have to go out in the field. Like I told you when I first started shooting, all of them shoots I was doing was for free. I'm taking pictures of just random shit just to be able to show people I can do this. So basically what I'm getting at is practicing as well.
Yeah, no,
There's a whole lot of practice. That's before profits. Practice.
I think you also have to reinvest into yourself. You know what I mean?
Yes, that is very important. Do not get the bag and fuck it up. Get the bag and flip that shit, bro. Like, I can't even describe it. Motherfuckers gonna get money, and if you're not used to that shit, bro, you just gonna blow it on everything.
That's something I've always been very keen on. Like, every single dollar that's been made from above the bridge so far has been reinvested into
put it back into the business. That's how you're supposed to do it.
Because right now, I'm not in a place where, like, I have to make this money off this to be able to survive.
Have to.
And I'm very, very lucky about that. But I'm not going to squander that opportunity because I know I'm going to take that jump, and eventually there's going to be a time and place where I need to make money off this. Of course. And then I'm going to be happy that I reinvested it in the early days. And I'm sure it's the same goes for you, you know? Like, I was looking at your Instagram, some of the shoots and stuff you're doing, like the shoots you're doing with, like, yerba mate and stuff and all these crazy clients. It's like, I'm sure those were almost unfathomable when you began. And I don't know if those opportunities would have ever came if you weren't willing to reinvest in yourself.
Of course, bro. Like, if you can't feed your own dream, who else will? If you're gonna sit back and wait for, oh, I want an investor, blah blah blah, but you ain't even putting no money back into yourself, how can you take yourself serious? You know what I'm saying? Not only just that, people need to also understand that, like, I'm not just relying on making money from photography to keep putting it back into my business. Like, bro, I work jobs. Like, I do whatever I can, whatever money I'm getting or whatnot. I'm not saying all of it's going back into myself, but, like, anytime I'm getting cheese, bro, like, I'm thinking about, like, hey, how can I keep upping my game? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, if you don't put money back into your business, or how can I say this? You have to spend money to make money, right? Yeah. So if you want to be able to charge people thousands of dollars for interviews or shoots or whatever, you have to have, like, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, bro. And I'm not saying you have to, equipment is everything, but, like, you also have to have a resume that's reliable and can match up to that too. You know what I'm saying? Like,
100%.
Nobody's gonna want to tap in, book you, whatever, if your shit not looking right. I'm just gonna say it like that. Like, nobody gonna take you serious.
It's funny you think you talked about it from an investment lens, because, like, I've never thought about it that way. But it's like, if I was an investor, right? Like, let's say I had, like, all the money in the world, and I was doing, like, VC.
If you went to Shark Tank right now and pitch to them your idea, and then they ask you, like, okay, so how much have you put in? And you're like, oh, well, I haven't spent anything. I'm like, what? Why should we support your dream if you don't even believe in yourself?
Or even flip that on its head. Think about yourself as, like, the investor, right? If you came to yourself as the investor, would you invest in yourself, and why? That's an interesting thought. I've never thought about that, actually.
Shit, I'm investing into myself. On God, 110%.
Maybe that's like, see, because when I think about that, I think about the answer. Maybe that gives me a precipice or an impetus to be more different, to kind of, like, figure out what is special, what I can do that's different. You know what I mean? Because, like, wow, that's an interesting thought. I've never thought about it like that. But it's like, why would you invest in yourself if you came to yourself? Like, if you were a judge on Shark Tank.
Yeah.
That's, like, a really weird thought.
Damn, I was about to say something. I can't even think about it. Go ahead, though.
No, you're good. That was it. Do you have, like, any favorite clients or, like, opportunities you've got to shoot for? Like, what are some of the most memorable places or clients you've got to shoot for?
Not everybody's a client.
But I mean, just, like, people, you know, subjects, models.
Some of my favorite shots include the work I did with Forever 21. That was one of my first shoots. That was one of my first publications. Awesome. That was a dope ass experience. I want to see pictures of Kanye. That shit was like a unthinkable experience because Kanye wasn't even supposed to come out, and I just so happened to have like the best spot at Rolling Loud, and that's what I usually do every time I go to Rolling Loud. Anyways, get the best spot and get the best shots.
How'd that come about? Like it just had. When was that?
Go to Rolling Loud. Get your camera in however you can if you're able to.
Yeah.
Fight for your life. Go to the very front of the stage. Post up. Shoot. Don't get caught. That's it.
Those are the experiences that we remember.
That's the experience, bro. And them shots is legendary, bro. I'm telling you. Even the shots of Future, Cardi, all that shit, Uzi. Them is people that I literally dreamt of shooting. I'm like, bro, like I gotta see these motherfuckers in person, shoot them. But besides like famous people, I have a lot of like work that I curated myself that I'm super duper proud of. My homegirl Reitman, she's a fire model. Like I've directed some like high fashion shit, styled that shit, whatnot. Super fly. So I want to say anything that I pretty much directed, which is almost 85% of my work, is my most proudest work. Like that's really me. That's my most genuine form.
I would imagine that would be even more rewarding. Like when you were able to do something yourself, because it's like you have full control. You know what I mean? Every single aspect of it's something you curated.
Aspect. I love that shit. 110% control of the creative process. Like it. Hold on, wait for this train to pass. It can be bad sometimes because like sometimes you want to do everything and you can't, obviously, but like for certain situations when you are able to just like do certain things, like for instance, like I didn't really enjoy this lighting or the lighting on the camera, and I just wanted to change a little bit. It goes into like that for every shoot. Like I be having a certain vision in my head, and like I really be having to put that out. So that's where all that stuff comes together. Yeah.
Do you, when you're shooting a model or like you're making a scene, do you have creative control down to like even like the styling of them? Like have you ever styled somebody?
Sometimes. I mean, I like if I really was able to, I would do that all the time.
Yeah.
I pretty much tell the people that I work with, like, hey, this look would look nice with the location that we're working with, or the look that I'm trying to go for. So I'm not styling 100% like all the time, but when I am able to, it's very fun.
Yeah, I could see you being great at that because that's like both your passions.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's hella fun because like everything's coming tenfold. Like not it's like Kanye, bro. Like when Kanye back in the day, bro, he was cooking beats, he was rapping, doing fashion, bro. Like people try to tell him like you can't do that, but like he's doing it and it's fun.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like I like to do that shit too.
Never let anybody box you in. Do you ever struggle? Because I mean, because you're somebody who you do a lot of creative stuff, like all kinds of different creative things. Do you ever struggle being labeled as something? Does that ever bother you? People are like, that's a designer or that's a photographer. Does that bother you?
All the time. It doesn't really bother me, but like, I mean, it kind of does bother me. I'm just an artist, bro. I'm a creative, but like sometimes you have to wear certain hats, bro. Like, and I've learned that and I've accepted that because this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I am who I am in that moment and where I need to be. Like, if I'm a photographer right now, I'm Mackk the visuals. Like, if I'm designing clothes, I'm Mackk. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you just gotta be who you gotta be.
Be adaptable. It's funny that you bring up like the Mackk visuals, Mackk archive thing because
it's different entities.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that was super interesting to me. Like before I met you and kind of like just like because I nardwar everybody I interview, but like stalking all your shit, man. It's like it was interesting to me like how you separated like those two identities, and I feel like I understood that in a lot of ways, like just from looking at your socials and stuff and your TikToks and stuff. It seemed all intentional. Have you always been like very keen on the way you curate your social media, like because I noticed you do a lot of stuff on TikTok as well as like your Instagram. Like, are you very like specific in the way you kind of orchestrate those two?
Keep it clean, keep it fly. Don't do it for the clout. Because I mean, social media could be super consuming.
Yeah.
Everybody want to go viral. Everybody wants all the likes and comments. For me, the main thing I get out of social media is not only the connections, but like, bro, I can make money from social media. So it's like, if I gotta do, or nah, let me not say that. But like the fly shit that I do is like gaining leverage for me to make money off of social media. You know what I'm saying? So like
it's almost like a portfolio.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if I gotta post more fly fits to like get people to go look at my clothing page and buy clothes, or go book me, do fly photo shoots for people to book me, then that's what I'm gonna keep doing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not in it for the likes and comments, bro. Like, I'm trying to get commas over comments. You know what I'm saying?
What do you mean?
Commas.
Oh, commas.
Commas.
I think you said comments over comments.
Multiple commas.
I got you. Yeah.
Over comments.
Yeah. No. It's very it's a really weird thing to think about. Social media. I talk about this a lot. I've talked about this a good amount of other interviews, but it's like it's not real life, and I feel like we have to stop treating it as real life.
It's the metaverse before the metaverse. People go in there and be whoever they want to be every day, bro. I see it. People think I'm like this young, rich motherfucker, just like turn up like, bro. I live a regular ass life. Like, and people on social media be capping. You could get lost in the sauce on social media, but you just gotta learn how to not let it consume you.
I think that's what's scary about it, honestly, because like somebody can curate themselves to seem like somebody who is entirely different than who they really are, and it's like I don't think when social media was like invented, that was like the thought.
It really hurts the exterior, like it hurts people outside looking in, because then motherfuckers like, damn, like he rocking chrome hearts, he getting money whole time. This dude's a bum. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. Like, just, you can start to compare yourself. That's what I said. You could get lost in the sauce if social media begins to consume you. But when social media becomes fun and you get real life rewards, like, okay, I'm making money off of this, or like something, you know what I'm saying? Something like that. Like, that's when social media becomes a little bit different. Like, you utilize it in a more serious way.
I think it's got to be like an extension of yourself. It can't be like a different version of yourself.
It's also fun too. Like people don't say this all the time, but social media is fun. Like,
you're right, people don't say that.
Who doesn't like? It's like a go-to news outlet, entertainment. Everything you need is like on social media. Like, you can post yourself, you can interact with your friends, communicate. So I love social media. Yeah, I
think it's cool that you say you love it. A lot of people like to cap, and they'll be on 8 hours a day, but then they're like, I fucking hate it. You know,
shout out. Who made Instagram?
Mark. No, he didn't make it. He bought it. I don't know who made it, actually.
Shout out to whoever made Instagram. I love y'all motherfuckers, bro. Oh, God.
Yeah, man. I'm jealous of the way you...
Hey, R.I.P. Vine.
Oh, my God.
We need to bring Vine back. Oh, God.
Or Musical.ly. Remember Musical.ly?
Nah, they could keep that.
That's what TikTok is, bro.
No, TikTok is Vine, but, like, way worse. Like, Vine really changed live. If you look at anybody that was on Vine, King Batch, all them motherfuckers, they in movies. Yeah. They on BET. They like have real life careers off that. TikTok is like trying to be like that though.
You know what I was told the other day? Do you remember Fred? You remember Fred, the YouTube Fred guy? He makes hyperpop music now. I was told that the other day and I was like, you're lying.
You gonna do what you gotta do to get back out here.
Yeah, dude, TikTok is like, you know what's weird to me? TikTok is like, I think, like Vine probably thinks TikTok was the potential that they had but never reached. I bet the Vine people are low-key salty that like they never rose to the heights of what TikTok is.
They didn't really have the opportunity. Nah, they kind of had the opportunity, but like technology was different back then. Like on TikTok, people are monetizing off of that. Like,
isn't that crazy?
Bro, I'm telling you, I know a kid right now, 16 years old, doing stupid numbers off of selling sneakers. He makes sneaker videos, bro, going viral. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Shout out Sneaker Reseller X.
Shout out Sneaker Reseller X.
My boy Mark.
There was a guy a couple of weeks ago that told me that like I didn't know this, but I guess once you reach a certain threshold of followers on TikTok, you can now like monetize your TikToks in the same way that you do YouTube videos.
I have $3.25 on my TikTok account.
So but did that come from like views? How's that work?
Accumulating views, you could go live and get gifts. Like if you are just like if you have a niche. And you're like the top in your niche, bro, and you're going live, people will pretty much send you virtual money. Like, I've seen people go make 10 bands plus off of a live just sitting there doing fucking nothing. Like,
that's insane.
And not only just that, if you really, really on top of your shit and you really care about conversion and you're selling a service or a product directly from TikTok, like, bro, if I was a TikToker with 1 million followers, I would be selling like in the peak of the pandemic, I would be selling LED lights. I would be selling all of the essential things that were in people's bedrooms, right?
Yeah.
And just making stupid chicken. So a lot of it's so many different things you could do, bro. I feel like people should strive to get that conversion down. Like
I think so too.
Making money off social media,
dude. That's one thing that like the generation above us, just like we're talking about earlier. I don't think they'll ever just believe or understand. I just think they'll be in denial that you can make money off things like TikTok forever until they can no longer be in denial.
Yeah.
Until they start seeing like enough people just be rich off TikTok and stuff to where they can no longer be like, what do you mean you're making money off TikTok?
The Catch Me Outside girl literally just dropped 40 M's on a house in Florida. She's younger than me.
Yeah.
She went viral
Isn't
on
that
the
crazy?
internet, and she's worth over 100 M's, bro.
She made like what $50 million off her OnlyFans and like literally.
I don't encourage that for all the rest of the young ladies out there. But yes, I mean it's kids out here getting bags, and hey, if she happy with her life, she's sitting on a $40 million mansion. I know I would be happy. So.
Hell yeah, bro! And you know what's crazy? Like think about this. What did she even do? She went viral. Like where did she start? She went viral yelling at Dr. Phil.
And her mom.
Disrespect
her mom. But it's like, bro,
and
like,
that made her $40 million.
How do we, to us, we're like, oh my God, like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, bro, if somebody would have told me, like, bro, you would be rich if you yell like Dr. Phil and you pretend like you hate your mom, I'd be like, what, bro? Sign me up right now,
less,
bro.
Yeah.
What? That's chicken.
Yeah, literally.
That's life-changing chicken right there.
Do you think TikTok's like a positive thing for art or like a negative thing?
No. It's positive and negative, but mainly negative because it oversaturates everything, and everybody's everything nowadays, and just I feel like it's a whole lot of non-intention and just a whole lot of bozos out here. But then again, I'm primarily focused on myself, so I can't really speak too much on a subject.
That's interesting. I mean, I've always felt like art, or not art, but like music specifically on TikTok. One thing that I do like about it is I do think the stuff that's the best tends to rise to the top based on the view system, which I kind of like.
That's dope. Like even seeing like in the like TikTok, all the trending dances, songs.
They're all good songs.
They're all coming from the Bay Area.
Oh, dude, 100%. I've been saying
I'm
this,
talking about
bro.
from dances.
Yes.
It's like people being,
especially dances.
People be in China, fucking damn near doing the goddamn. I can't even name a song right now. Doing a song by Kato, like just like you're like, oh shit, like this is Young Slowby. This is like,
or what's that one Larry June song that just went viral as fuck on TikTok? I'm trying to remember.
I don't even know. I didn't even know Larry June went viral. But it's really just like, oh my God, bro. Like, oh my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Like the fact that people are going viral, bro, from the Bay Area, like dumbass potential. Like they're getting contracts, they're getting labels coming at them.
Everybody copies the Bay swag, man. The Bay's gonna be the new LA. Just a matter of time.
Nah,
no,
we will never be LA. The Bay is the Bay. The Bay will just be the new Bay.
But what I'm saying is everybody's gonna want to be in the Bay like they want to be in LA.
People want to be in the Bay. People just can't afford to be here, bro.
That's true. No, I think you're right.
You know how many people want to be in San Francisco right now?
You're right. You're right. You're right.
But do you think they're ready to pay $3,500, not including utilities, for a studio?
No, I know I'm not.
Whereas you could go to LA, right, and you could be shacked up in a two-bedroom apartment with like 20 other people, rocking designer and shit, living your life, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that out here, bro.
It's crazy to me that people think LA is like the same price as the
LA
Bay.
Is a
I feel like
world,
people
bro.
from like other states just think that LA and the Bay are the same price. It's like,
I mean,
the Bay's a good amount more expensive.
It
bro.
could be comparable, bro, depending on where you at. Like, okay, some like an average crib, probably like around Beverly or something like that, is like the average crib of a small ass house in the city, right?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
you could get a small townhouse in San Francisco, minimum $1 million, not including property taxes.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Shit, bro.
It's sad, but I mean, I don't know. I think it'll all come back around. Like I don't think there's a world where this place is that expensive forever. Do you think it can be?
It will never go down.
You don't think so?
I can't imagine it, brother. We're living in like one of the most advanced cities in the world.
I mean, that's true, yeah. I guess the way that I think about it, like, sorry to cut you off, but I think that's like where my thought process comes from. That is like, okay, why is San Francisco so expensive? San Francisco is so expensive right now because as a result of all the people that want to move to San Francisco,
Correct.
People will want to move out of San Francisco eventually because it's going to be too expensive. Then the prices will go down because everybody moves out, and then everybody is going to want to move back because it's cheap, and it's a cycle, you know. Or maybe I'm thinking about
everybody will never move out of San Francisco. It will never happen. Trust me.
You think so?
They've designed this city.
Yeah.
To like, you have to think about way back back when 1949 when the gold rush was popping.
Yeah.
Right. People, or I don't know if it was 1949. Excuse me. Whenever that date was,
I think it is.
I don't know.
I think you're right.
I'm terrible with history, but like
you're right.
Whatever that date was, the gold rush, bro. Like people been coming. Like San Francisco, you have to realize is like it's really golden, right? Like we have every resource for every walk of life, bro. Like from Google, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Technology, food, entertainment, all of that stuff pretty much comes from San Francisco. Like you don't have to go to like another city in the Bay Area to pretty much get everything. You can't even really go to another city in the Bay Area and get like what you can get in San Francisco or what it has to offer.
Definitely not. There's nothing comparable.
And I feel like California is already so invested. Like that is like San Francisco is like LA to like Southern California or like New York City to New York. You know
it's like think about it like this, right? Like try to imagine the Bay without San Francisco, or try to imagine Southern California without LA, or New York City without New York, or vice versa. New York without New York City.
There's so much culture and just so much like the vibe from people that are in San Francisco, live in San Francisco, or just grew up out here. Like your life is different, bro. Like you're a natural born hustler.
Yeah,
you could take your skills
because you have to be.
Bro, I'm telling you, like, people be feeling like a bum out here. Like, bro, $10,000 out here to us is nothing. But if you take that anywhere else pretty much in the world, bro, like, you're up. Like, we know, I feel like motherfuckers from the city or from the Bay know how to really go out and go get it for real.
I totally agree with you. And I started to realize that when, like, I began, like, talking and working with other people from, like, different states and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought about, like, the difference in mindset and like work ethic and like the way, and honestly I don't think it's all a negative thing. I think like some of the hustle mentality that comes out of the Bay can be a little toxic, but I think we 100% work harder than most of the people in this 100%. Country because we have to, because of the prices here, because of how difficult it is to live in this city. Like, for example, you and me and our parents and the people who, like, had to work to make a living in San Francisco and settle and live in San Francisco, it's inalienably harder to do that here than it is in the Midwest. No disrespect to the Midwest.
I mean, it's not only hard, but it's, like, everything that's surrounding you is also, like, either going to it's primarily going to motivate you, right? If you see Teslas all day and you see motherfuckers chilling at restaurants at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, like not at work and shit, like hella techies just bulling, and you know what I'm saying? You can be like, damn, like, bro, I feel like I could be on that too. Like these are people that's coming from that's not even from here, really having it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the way that I see it in my city. Like when I'm seeing people that obviously look like they're not from here, or I met people that's not from out here, really, you know what I'm saying, living a whole city experience, chilling, bro, like, it's motivating, bro. There's techies out here working from home, making 100 bands, bro.
That is definitely motivating.
Straight chilling. So it's like, it's a motivating city.
I would love to be that one day. But I also think in one regard, well, not a techie, obviously, but like, no, you know what I mean. But like, making that kind of money,
making 100 bands,
yeah, not being a techie, fuck that, I can never do that. But what I mean is like, the idea of having that kind of financial freedom.
Derek's in the background, like, bro, I'm a techie.
Yeah, I'm a techie.
Hey, shout out them techies though, bro. You raise the rent, bitch ass niggas.
No, 100%. Shout out Derek making bands.
Bang above the bridge, you know what I'm saying?
Couple more technical difficulties.
Doggy difficulties.
Yeah, this dog, man. Fuck, I can't do the pet thing. I'm with you. Oh, well, last thing I want to ask you though. You and I are the same age. You're 20. We're 20. What do you? I know it's hard to kind of predict the future, but like, what are your biggest goals in the next 1 to 2 years? Like, where do you want to be when you're 22?
I want to be chilling in my own crib, number one. Number two, I want to be driving a new car, preferably a Tesla. Number 3, last year me probably would have asked for a storefront next year. I'm not really too much in a rush for it, but I definitely want a creative space studio. So that's pretty much it, bro. And just more consistent clients, more billboards, more publications, more exhibits, more numbers. That's it.
Yeah, more life, man, more everything.
More life.
I think you'll get there, bro. I love the way you look at the shit, for real. Like, I think you'll come back to this interview in 1 to 2 years, and you'll be very excited with the results, man.
Oh God, bro.
Yeah, appreciate you, Mackk.
Off top, bro. Appreciate you for having me, bro. Shout out Above the Bridge. Oh God.
Of course, man. Of course. Tell them where they could, like, you know, if they need work, where they could hit you up, your Instagram, where they could follow you. Where can they see your work at?
Tap in with me on my main account. I would advise who is Mackk, who is Mackk. The rest of my accounts are linked in my bio.
All right, man. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Alrighty. Music matters.